What's up, dudes? Alright, I'm back. We did an hour and 9 minutes before, so that was actually 12:18. But we're doing another session, which is gonna be 5:11 to whatever time we go to. And before we were working on removal of Pygame code from server side. And we're going to be doing the same thing here until we finish. Alright, so we were figuring out how inspect stack works on a deeper level, because I do understand it, but I did understand it. I understand it a lot better now. But I wanted to read this message from Claude here, because I was actually a little bit I had it twisted. Let's see. So he says, well, we were assuming that the index for the main module would have been -1, but that's not actually true. And I was thinking that because I was running my test in an errant fashion, I was not doing it correctly, so in that case it would have been -1, but yeah. So let's read this. It says, not quite. The call stack in Python grows forward from main, or the entry point. So the earliest outermost frames, including the main module, are at the start of the stack, the lower indices, while the most recent calls are at the end, the higher indices. So if we have main, which imports module A, and it prints out I am main. Then we have module A, which imports module B, and then prints I am module A. Then we have module B, which imports inspect. Inside module B, there's the def print stack function where stack is equal to inspect stack. Then we print full stack from top to bottom. And for I in frame info, in enumerate stack, module equals inspect dot get module frame info at index 0, module name equals module dot underscore underscore name if module else unknown. Actually reading that code is I don't use enumerate, and I don't use the get module, but I mostly understand this and this weird if module else unknown. I don't completely understand that. Like, if module, why would module not be? What would module be if not? It would not be. Module name equals module name if module else unknown. So I guess if this returns like none or something, like a non-module. Anyway, so print frame I, which is gonna be the, when you're using enumerate, I'm guessing this is gonna be like the index, the indices maybe. And then it says module name in frameinfo.function at frameinfo.filename. Frame info line number. Okay, we don't need all that, but anyway, this is what we get. So we get I am module B, and that's because main imports module A imports module B, so module B imports inspect, and then it defines this function, it prints I am module B, so I get that part. Yeah, and then we get the print stack run from module B. Okay, so we get, so from module B, frame at index 0 is going to be module B in print stack at path to module B, and then frame at index 1 is going to be module B in module at path to module B. So this is the same place. And then we get path to module A, and then we get path to main. Okay, so this is where frame 0 is referencing from. And then it references module B again because frame 1 is where it was defined from. Is this right? Is that why? Let's see, we have import module A, import module B, and I'm guessing the reason the module B shows up twice. Okay, yeah, and it shows you the line number. I'm an idiot. It's literally showing us the line. So it's showing line. Well, it doesn't show the line number here. So it's to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, we know the first one is going to be this. Well, no, it's actually showing the first one. I'm a little confused, I'm not gonna lie. Still confused on this. Yeah, this is... the way that that's phrased is hard for me to understand. I'm a little slow, but it's also a newer concept to me. I've learned about this, but I want to make sure I really understand this, because this is something I probably need to understand like fully to work in this field, you know. And I also need to understand enumerate, so I probably need to brush my skills up on understanding enumerate as well. So let's see what Claude says a little further. So notice that frame 0 is the current function, which is print stack, okay, and that's going to be line 12, which I'm assuming is right here. Okay, so this would be line 12 from what I just counted. And then frame 1 is where the print stack was called in module B. Okay, that putting that in that language helps me to understand. Okay, so yeah, frame 0 is the current function, like where it's defined, and then frame 1 is where the function was called, and it just so happens to be called from module B. That's why you get module B twice, 12, and then line 15. And then it's frame 2 is where the module B was imported in module A. So frame 0 is going to be here. Frame 1 is going to be here, I think. And then frame 2 is going to be where module B was imported into module A, which is right here at line 2. Okay, that makes sense. And then frame 3 is going to be the main module where it called module A, which is going to be line number 2. And that's as far as the stack goes. It doesn't go any further. So to get to the main modules frame, you want the last frame in the stack. I'm like, wait a second, bro, is that not what I said? Yeah, because you're running main. And if you're running main, then main is actually the last one. So to get the main modules frame, you want the last frame in the stack. However, it's worth noting that this approach of examining the full stack can be somewhat expensive, potentially fragile, might not always give you what you expect in complex scenarios. If you just need to know if you're running the main program, the standard if name main idiom is usually more appropriate. If you just need to know if you're running the main program, standard if name is equal to main. Yeah, but that wouldn't work for what we're doing. Yeah, so with performance in mind, we do want to keep performance in mind, and this is a lot of data that it has to get. So we might not use this. It is good for me to understand this more, but we might not use this. I just wasn't really thinking about the performance of it. I'm glad Claude mentioned that. So yeah, the performance is, I mean, for just checking if SS or CS, that's going to be definitely more performant. It's not more complicated per se. It is more lines, but I'm assuming that inspect is going to be pretty slow. Let's go ahead and just do a quick test on, and I really didn't want to do this. I'm really ready to move forward. So ready to just be done. But let's run a test here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna import time it, and I want to find because I always forget the proper format for time it. They've, I think, simplified it, made it a lot easier to use. Used to be, but it's confusing. It's not really confusing, but just remembering the formats can be a little difficult. You have to study it. Okay, so print time it dot time it, and then if it's a multi-line, we have to do it like that, where we have triple quotes, and then we can write out our multi-line operation. In this case, is it multi-line? All we want to do, well, we want to get we need to import inspect. Alright, and then we're gonna say if inspect dot stack 0 dot file name is equal to server Or no, we don't want 0, we want -1, right? And let's clarify this real quick. So to be clear, if we want the main frame, then we need to access index -1. Yes, that's exactly right. If you specifically want to find the main entry point frame, you'd use index 1 since it's at the bottom of the call stack, even though it was chronologically the first to execute. Gotcha. Yeah, stack equals inspect stack, main frame is stack at -1, main module equals inspect get module main frame at 0. And the main module is main module dot under name at main frame dot file name. Inspect dot get module. So we're getting the module of the main frame index 0. The main module is main module dunder name. Yeah, that's overly complicated. Like we could have just replaced this with the file name instead of using this like module thing at main frame dot file name. So that's what I would have just used, is main frame file name. So we have current frame equals stack 0. Print the current frame is inspect module current frame at 0. Dunder name at current frame file name, and then who is main. Okay, when you run Python main py, it would show the main module at index -1, the entry point versus index 0, which is the current location. It's like a stack of books. The main module is the bottom book, the last index, that everything else was stacked on top of, even though it was the first one placed down. Okay, but you didn't actually show the output of this code. Okay, so when you run it, you get running from main. The main module is main, and we don't actually need dunder main. We can just get well, yeah, we just need the file name. It's that simple. Okay, which is probably faster. So we could just say if inspect stack at -1, yeah, inspect stack at -1 dot file name is equal to server, then we just pass. Okay. Now we have globals equal to globals number 10,000. That's how many times it's gonna run it. And then we're also gonna do the time it for would you say if SS or CS is equal to, or yeah, we're just comparing it to having this in a couple locations. So if SS or CS is equal to CS, pass, and then, well, we have to have SS or CS defined. I don't think it would let us just do that without having it defined. So let's run it, see if this works. This SS or CS is not. Oops, I messed up here. This should have put equal to, not checking quality. Time it is not defined. Did you forget to import time it? I did. I did. It's true. Okay. Oh, it's taking a while. It's taking a while, so it's running this code 10,000 times, and it's gonna run this one 10,000 times. Oh man, alright. That took a long time. So, okay, inspect stack is a very slow. Like, whoa. It is so slow. Like, big slow. Holy hell. Damn, son. Okay, I did not know that. So inspect is very slow. Let's put that in notes just so we remember this. Inspect.stack is very slow compared to if statement was 9.5 seconds to 0.0003 seconds. So that's like 10,000 times slower. It is not even close. I don't even want to use that ever again. See, after seeing this, is that actually inspect stack -1 file server? Is that? Let's just do if inspect stack and see if that makes a difference. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be faster, but I'm just curious to see, is it just the inspect stack? Yeah, it's just inspect stack is very slow at a basic level. Extraordinarily bad. Okay, so we'll probably never use this. Honestly, like, yeah. So, that's actually a performance killer right there. I would never use that. So let's put, how do we do this? What's the, okay, so we put the date first. We'll call this inspect slow. Slow as hell. Never use versus simple if statement 9.5 seconds versus 0.00003 seconds or something like that. Maybe it added one extra zero, but yeah. So never use inspect ever. Okay, don't do it. Just don't. Right? So moving forward, why are we? Where are we? Alright, so let's close this, and so where were we again in the actual project? Okay, so yeah, we're scrapping that idea. That's dumb. Don't use stack. It's way too slow. Never. Just ever. And what we're gonna do instead is what we initially proposed, which is a very simple thing. And the issue here is we want to make sure that whenever we're importing, since we're going to disable certain code being run when it's the game classes being initialized from the server side, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we have SS or CS set before we ever initialize the game classes, which means we have to have it before we import them, because that's when they get initialized. So we have to put it at the very first thing to happen, and that would be, we would accomplish that by going to server. We have this import change attribute list, and we're gonna put this way to the top, like the very first thing that happens as far as non-Python, I mean, like, yeah, as far as non-Python module imports that are from like the standard library. And now we're gonna find SS or CS, which is right here. Okay. Disable this line since we added logic and setup to check for SOCS to avoid running the line on S. They're required to be run. Yeah, so we can get rid of this now. And then we're gonna copy this, and we're gonna move this actually all the way to the top, but like right there, bam. And I'll put must be, I'll just add this as a separate note because it's the courteous way to do it. This has to be at the beginning of the file since certain imports rely on it in their inits, etc. True. Okay, but well, server doesn't get imported. Import server doesn't actually happen anywhere. But, or what about from server? Because even if we do from server, that will do it.